Young Gemma and her mum had stopped at the foot of a waterfall. The moonlight hit the water and made it glow a silvery blue as it rolled over the rocks and down to the stream below. Gemma thought of how this might be the last time that she saw the night sky or the rainforest with her mum. It made her love the flickering stars even more. And for a reason she couldn't completely understand, it made her angry at each one. She stood across the stream from her mother and looked up. Both of her parents were taller than her, but her mother was not nearly as out of reach as her father. Gemma imagined that she was only a few years of eating vegetables away from drawing even. Gemma, do you know why your father and I are explorers? Asked her mum. The answer was so simple to Gemma that she was almost confused. It's fun. That's part of it, said Gemma's mum with a smile, but far from all of it. Her mum leaned down close to the stream and reached in with both hands. She scooped up an impressive amount of water. A few more years of drinking milk, and Gemma's hands would be just as large. She was sure. What do you see in my hands, Gemma? She asked. Gemma was confused again. These were hardly questions worthy of a waterfall chat. It's water, she said confidently. Gemma's mum spread her fingers and let the water slip down like the waterfall. A layer of mud covered her hands. And now? That's mud, answered Gemma. Gemma's mum sifted through the sand until glimmers of gold rose to the surface. And now? Gemma's eyes sparkled as she looked at the precious metal in her mum's hand. You see, there is wonder all around us, explained her mother. She pointed to the water. In the sea, she slapped the mud into Gemma's hand, making her laugh. In the earth. Gemma's mum looked up. And in the sky, interrupted Gemma. That's right, said her mum. Gemma looked up, her eyes still sparkling, until she remembered. But why do you have to go? She asked. She could feel the tears coming whether she wanted them or not. Then it was her mum's turn to get serious. Since the beginning, it has been the job of explorers to find the wonders of this world and to keep them safe. she explained. And to keep them secret? Asked Gemma. Precisely, replied her mum. We are a group. We work together to protect these wonders. But there is one of us who would take them, who would use them for their own gain. Gemma's face scrunched up in anger. She understood that it was wrong for someone to take things that weren't theirs. But more than that, she understood that her mother and father were leaving because of whoever this person was. Who is it? She cried. I'll stop them. Gemma's mum reached out and grabbed her hand with a smile. I have no doubt you would. But it is a job for your father and I. There are things you still don't know. Like what? Demanded Gemma. There were few things that Gemma disliked more than not knowing things that she wanted to know. It ranked just below not having things that she wanted to have. There is a key, her mum relented. Like a key to open something? Asked Gemma. Yes, answered her mum, although we don't know what it looks like. It was here, underground, and they came for it. It was a lot for Gemma to understand. They came to the jungle? Yes, but don't worry, they have no interest in us. They were just looking for the key. And they took it? Asked Gemma. It seems that the key is still hidden, but we don't know where. We must find it before anyone else, Gemma. Why? Asked Gemma. What is it? Gemma's mum found her favourite constellation in the sky and let out a sigh. The stuff of dreams, Gemma. The stuff of dreams. The cottontail rabbits were fast asleep as Gemma and Milo snuck by. There was no use in waking them. The path lay ahead, and besides, the rabbits were too good at stealing food to give them another chance at the nap snack. At first, the path was covered in a tan dirt and surrounded by low bushes with just a few leaves as the day turned to dusk. The path became dark, surrounded by trees. It wasn't long before they passed through an archway of green branches made many years before. Gemma and Milo stepped forward into the deep woods. They were entering what was known to their ancestors of old as the Forest of Misfortune. I have a good feeling about this place, Milo, said Gemma. It's important to remember that she did not know that this was a forest name. As dusk continued into night, Gemma and Milo found the path more and more overgrown with branches. A strange orange bird looked down on them from a tall tree. Milo looked up and stared at it suspiciously. He kept his eyes on it as he walked. It's just a bird, Milo, said Gemma, looking back. Just because these plants and animals are new to us doesn't make them bad. Gemma pushed ahead. The moment she turned her back, the bird glared at Milo and stuck out its tongue. Before Milo could make a fuss, Gemma urged him on. Come on! We've got to find something soon before it gets too dark. Milo rushed to catch up and ran right into Gemma from behind. She had stopped dead at a wall of multicolored leaves. Slowly she parted them to see that the path went in to a circular clearing and stopped at a lonely tree in the center. This was no ordinary tree, however. It was large, and not large in the way that the largest apple is when surrounded by smaller apples. It was large in the way that a watermelon is when surrounded by grapes. There was grass all around it, and the roots were covered with moss, and, for some reason, it had an orange glow. It was the most impressive tree that Gemma had ever seen. I think this is what we're supposed to find, Milo, said Gemma, never breaking a stare. Milo nodded. It was so impressive, in fact, that Gemma didn't notice the two doors at its base until she was a few feet away. They are made from a different wood than the tree itself. One was painted blue and the other was painted not blue. It is not remembered what colour the second door was painted, so it cannot be said for sure what it was, except that it was not blue. Gemma approached the blue door. There was no one else around and there were no signs to be read. I guess we should just try both of them, guessed Gemma. But before her hand could turn the brass knob, a small window opened above their head. It was impossible to see it until it opened, since it was made from the same wood as the tree, and it seems it was seamless. I wouldn't do that, said a voice from the window. A small elderly woman with pink pigtails poked her head up from above and peered down. Gemma pulled her hand back and stood up straight. Oh, why is that? She asked. Because only one of those doors will lead you up to me. The other will suck you up inside and spit you out on the other side of the world, said the woman. Milo laughed dismissively and slapped his leg. Don't believe me, said the woman. Give it a try then. I should mention that the other side of the world is smack dab in the middle of the Dirk Sea. Milo laughed a little softer, then not at all. Why would someone design a tree like that? Protested Gemma. The elderly woman cocked her head. The pigtails on her head bobbed. You're looking for something extraordinary, my dear, she said. Extraordinary is not easy. Gemma and Milo looked at each other excitedly. You know what we're looking for? She asked the woman with pink pigtails. All we know is that it's the greatest treasure in the world. The woman chuckled. I'll never understand why they started calling it that. It's something a child would say. The woman stared down at them, then retreated back into the tree and shut the window abruptly. Gemma was startled. But, hey, she shouted. The woman stuck her head out again and looked down. Ah, you two. Yes, what is it? Gemma pleaded with her. Excuse me, miss. My name is Willow, she responded. What a beautiful name. Were you named after this tree? Gemma asked with a smile slightly too big for her mouth. How should I know? Said Miller with a scoff. I was a baby at the time. Right. Well, I'm Gemma and this is Milo, said Gemma awkwardly. Willow peeked her head out further and looked down at them. Gemma, what an unusual name. Were you named after a rock? Willow said, with no smile at all. Gemma just ignored the question, as well as Milo giggling at it. Willow, we have no idea which door to open. Can you at least give us a hint? Gemma asked. A hint? Shouted Willow. The nerve, the gall, the bull fogginess of it. Gemma slouched down. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend. Willow slammed the window, making it disappear into the tree once again. They sat up, staring at it for a minute. Gemma was about ready to give up when it opened again. Willow leaned out and addressed them, this time holding a piece of paper. As it just so happens, I do have a hint, she said proudly. I wrote it down years ago, but no one's ever asked for it. No one's ever made it this far at all, actually. Anyone could have made the same mistake, she added. Certainly, responded Gemma kindly. Quiet, said Willow. She cleared her throat and read the paper aloud. Don't count or smell or feel or sight. The door will tell you which is right. Gemma squinted her eyes and thought hard. After a great deal of pondering, she was sure of only one thing. I need to hear it again, she said. You wish to hear it again, said Willow. You need to pick the right colour door, or you'll be craking food in the do-rag sea. Willow shut the window one final time. I'm sorry, but this story is to be continued. Make sure you like, share and subscribe so you don't miss out the other episode. If you haven't already, make sure you check out all the other parts before this. If you would like to see any particular content, make sure to comment it down below. Also, which door do you think is correct? Tell me in the comments below. Thank you for watching and goodbye.